Coming up next, the presidential candidates make a campaign blitz to Pennsylvania. We will take you through President Trump's rally here in Central PA.
Plus, big crowds breaking COVID rules in State College. Find out how the borough and police are cracking down.
And the pandemic's effect on job search, how graduating students are doing in this economy. The Center County Report starts now.
Afternoon. I'm Chanel Porter. Thanks for joining us for the Center County Report.
And I'm Grace Bradley. Election day is 1 week from today, and Pennsylvania is still front and center in the fight for votes. Joe Biden was in the Philadelphia area yesterday, and President Trump made 3 campaign stops in our state, including one near Altoona. Reporter Preston Shoemaker was there.
The presidential election is just a week away, and things are beginning to heat up on the campaign trail. With Pennsylvania caught in the crosshairs of both candidates, President Trump held a Make America Great Again rally in Martinsburg that drew out thousands of spectators yesterday. Trump's main talking points were on issues that heavily factored the Pennsylvania voter, such as fracking, coal mining, and school shutdowns. He rallied against Joe Biden's political track record and reminded voters that he is a Washington outsider.
It's because I'm not a politician, if that's okay. And I don't always play by the rules of the Washington establishment.
All eyes are on Pennsylvania and its 20 electoral college votes, which could very well swing the tide in next week's election. Polls are showing a razor-thin margin here in the state, which have led President Donald Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden out to the campaign trail in the last few weeks. President Trump seemed to understand how important a Pennsylvania win would be for his campaign.
Got to get out and vote. We got to put this thing away. We win Pennsylvania, we win the whole ball game. We win the whole ball game.
Blair County Republican Chairman Jim Foreman says that having the president visit the area this close to the election is a really big deal.
Well, it's huge. I mean, to have a sitting president visit Blair County going back, I don't think we've had anyone since Jimmy Carter, if even then, come here.
Foreman says they are expecting over 70% local Republican voter turnout for the election, a number that surpasses their 2016 rates. Noah Briggs voted for Trump in 2016 and says spreading the word for this election is critical.
Yeah, I wanted to come out and support our president. I think he's done a great job, and just get out and vote and get informed, have a plan, and just do whatever you can to make a change.
In Martinsburg, I'm Preston Shoemaker for the Center County Report.
Polls are open November 3rd from 7 a.m. till 8 p.m. We'll bring you live election coverage that night on TV and on our social media channels.
President Trump's choice to replace Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the Supreme Court is officially in place today. The U.S. Senate confirmed Amy Coney Barrett as the new Supreme Court Justice last night, and she was sworn in at the White House. Democrats strongly opposed the vote, saying it should have waited until after next week's presidential election. Barrett is 48 years old and is on the court for a life term.
We have some breaking news right now. Today's new COVID numbers are in for Center County. There are 27 more positive cases since yesterday. That brings the total to 4,097 cases since March. The number of deaths in Center County remain at 16. Also, the Ferguson Township Municipal Building is closed all this week because a staff member has tested positive for COVID. Large parties in State College over the weekend have led to an investigation by the borough and local police. Social media video shows parties with more than 100 people at some apartment complexes. The borough issued a statement saying that the parties violate the COVID ordinance and that police broke up gatherings at Penn Towers, The Rise, and The Here. Police will now use video to identify those who were in attendance and to issue citations and report students to Penn State's Office of Student Conduct.
So I'm a senior, so I've been to a lot of games here. Normally, I would go to the IM fields and have a good time with my friends before the game. But today, I just went to my best friend's house, and we played cornhole outside, and then we went inside and we watched the game.
With both Halloween and the football game against Ohio State this coming Saturday, the borough says apartment complexes have agreed to restrict common areas in their buildings and are helping the police with the investigation.
During the coronavirus pandemic, parents and students across Central PA have had to deal with the inconsistencies of in-person and remote learning. I talked with one parent about the frustrations. Even in the best of situations, this year has been tough for most students and parents when it comes to learning. A combination of in-person, remote, and hybrid classes makes it challenging. Joyce Chilcote of Mount Union says she's trying to help her 8 kids go to classes.
Say I have 8 boys, 2 in elementary, 2 in junior high, and 4 in the senior high. Where we live at is a small community which only offers one internet service.
And for her family, there's another problem.
I'm in a situation where I owe a bill and can't get internet. The children are unable to do the distance learning.
Mount Union School District is back in person after shutting down for 5 days after 2 positive cases. Some parents like Joyce are frustrated with the district, stemming back to when the pandemic began in March.
At the end of school, they offered to send packets home, and then were told that they weren't allowed to, so the children just didn't have any schoolwork to do.
She says the frustration is building because there are limited options if students don't have internet access at home.
I've seen them at the beginning of this year fall behind more because they didn't get that extra month and a half last year.
Other districts also face tough decisions. State College decides on a week-by-week basis what next week's schedule will be, in person or remote.
Through the year, we've had different concerns addressed to us, concerns about the education model, concerns about being back in school, the health and safety. And what we're doing our best is just to communicate as honestly and as transparently as we can.
And those decisions may not get any easier as we move into the traditional cold and flu season with the pandemic continuing. We've left multiple messages with the Mount Union School Superintendent's office, but they have not responded. Mount Union, as well as Tyrone, Hollidaysburg, State College, and Bellefonte have had positive cases of COVID-19 within their schools. State College has stayed in person since September 28th.
COVID is also affecting Halloween this year. Some families are doing trick-or-treat by leaving a bowl of candy outside for kids to grab and go instead of handing it to them face-to-face. Health experts also recommend avoiding a costume mask and say it's better to make a cloth or medical mask a part of your costume. Trick-or-treat in most of Centre County is this Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. It's moved from Halloween night because of the Penn State football game.
Students graduating from college this year are walking into a far different job market because of the pandemic. Rosel Ventura looks into what graduates and college career service experts are doing to help.
Graduating college seniors are walking into a difficult job market as the coronavirus pandemic continues. When employment peaked as nearly as 15% in April, now it's down to 8%. That's still tough for people like New York nursing graduate Salandra Adon, who's applied to about 500 jobs and hasn't heard anything back.
I do have debt that I have to take care of. I do have student loans that I have to pay. And so not being able to find a job has not only made me very frustrated, but it's also putting me in a terrible situation financially as well.
Penn State's Career Services Office helps students with their job search. This year has been challenging even for those lucky enough to land a job.
Having to join a team and learn a new job remotely, I think is an extra challenge that most people, we never really had to deal with in the past.
This year, many Penn State graduating seniors are only being offered internships and unpaid opportunities remotely. Some say that they're not taking these offers because they're ready to start a full-time job on their fields, which most of them are about making human connections and interactions. Career Services say there are plenty of companies recruiting like they normally do, but a lot depends on particular industries or fields.
We are seeing things get back to normal in the sense that people are having positions that need to be filled. They are looking for, recent grads.
Experts say graduating students need to be more persistent and patient than ever. In University Park, I'm Rosel Ventura for the Central County Report.
Penn State students can get more information from Career Services on its website, studentaffairs.psu.edu/career.
It's feeling more like fall this week, but are there changes in our weather coming later in the week? Jacob is here with the 7-day forecast coming up. Also ahead, see how a local adult activity center has had to change its way of operating because of COVID. More after the break.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
You're doing great. We're gonna try this again, okay?
Okay.
Wheels, pedals, handlebar, brakes. Sit up straight, keep your weight in the center, keep your eyes on the road, hands on the grips, butt in the seat. If we feel ourselves falling, what do?
Just keep pedaling.
Good girl. Now remember, it's all about balance and steering. Steer with your hands, steer with your body. Steer into the corners and you stay out of trouble. And the bell's your buddy, so go ahead and ding that. All right, ready? Here we go. Pedal, honey, pedal. There you go, you're a bike rider.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
The pandemic has affected many areas of life this year. One of them is fitness. Leanne Stapleton looks at how something as simple as going to the gym and working out has changed for many people.
The COVID era, staying healthy is more important than ever. But people like Anna Ventura are conscious of the exposure risk when exercising.
Extremely scared of not only this virus, but any virus you can get when you get exposed to people. So I really don't think at any point I'm going to go back to the gym.
A survey by TD Ameritrade found almost 60% of Americans won't renew their gym memberships even when things improve. Because of the pandemic, people have found alternative and more cost-effective ways to exercise, like being outside, virtual and online classes, and fitness apps. App stores have dozens of fitness programs that people are using during this time. Many people are also buying their own equipment to create home gyms.
The bike I bought have some workouts, and you can follow those, and it motivates you.
While some may go back to the gym when COVID subsides, others won't. And that likely means a much different landscape when it comes to the number of local gyms. In State College, I'm Leanne Stapleton for the Center County Report.
In the TD Ameritrade survey, people said they spent around $177 a month on things like gym memberships, fitness classes, and personal training. Many of them now say the pandemic helped them find more affordable ways to exercise.
The pandemic has been especially rough on older people. From the lockdowns to staying healthy and staying home, reporter Sarah Sutnick shows you how the Center County's Active Adult Center is staying open for those who need it.
Center County's Active Adult Center brings senior citizens together through laughter, creativity, and activities. Although COVID-19 has forced a cutback in its operating hours, it's still open for people to meet together and keep busy.
Well, I used to use the computer a lot before I got an iPhone. So it was my way to connect to the internet and Facebook and, writing to friends.
Douglas Mason enjoys coming to the center for the technology, but he also likes bringing his wife, who he met through the center. Those who come here say they're grateful for the center services, especially after many older people spend time in lockdown and isolated from family and friends. Staff has been forced to limit the hours and clean and sanitize a lot more as a safety precaution.
That's because it has to be thoroughly cleaned anytime anybody walks in here. So when everybody leaves, we have to scrub from top to bottom, anything you would possibly touch, the floors, the bathrooms. So it's sort of turned into a full-time janitorial in the afternoons. So.
The center inside the Nittany Mall takes holidays to another level. With Halloween just days away, Cindy Stallman revamped the entire center with decorations. Even though I had a chance to get involved playing a little competitive game of crossword puzzle.
Today's activity is crossword puzzle. Connie and I are here. Ready, Connie? I think I'm going to beat you.
No, you're not.
The Active Adult Center continues to be a daily escape for older people from their homes during the COVID-19 era. In State College, I'm Sarah Sutnick for the Center County Report.
With the help of the center, Douglas Mason found the love of his life and hosted a wedding at the center. Definitely an important part of our community.
Good afternoon. It's been a very cloudy and cool start to the work week, and we're seeing these cloudy conditions still in place over Mount Nittany right now. This will be the trend over the next couple of days, still staying rather cloudy and cool before we start to see a much bigger storm system enter our picture for the second half of the week. 48 degrees is the temperature right now outside here in Center County. Much cooler air in place across the Commonwealth, about 10 degrees below average from where we should be for this time of year right now. The satellite radar shows that thick cloud cover across the state right now, and if we take a broader picture, you see our next storm system off in the central and southern plains, bringing a really bad ice storm actually to parts of Oklahoma right now. Timeless hour by hour for you with Futurecast. We see those overcast skies still dominating our state throughout the rest of the day today. A few passing showers are possible throughout the overnight hours tonight, but those should clear out by the time we get into the morning hours tomorrow, setting up for a pretty dry day across the state for the middle of your work week with just a few clouds in our area, a few peaks of sunshine possible for your day on Wednesday. So today, warming up to a high of 53 degrees with those overcast conditions, a few areas of drizzle possible. Tonight, a low of 41 with those scattered showers moving through our area. And then tomorrow, warming up to a high of 58 degrees. It will be the pick of the week, though, with those dry conditions. Now turning our attention down to the tropics, we have Tropical Storm Zeta that made landfall on the Yucatan Peninsula last night. This will affect our weather as we head into the second half of the week, but first it will make landfall in Louisiana tomorrow evening before, as I mentioned, moving up into the northeast and bringing us some much needed rainfall as we head into the day on Thursday. This is starting off at Thursday at 9 a.m. We see some rain moving into our area, and Thursday will be a washout across the Commonwealth with periods of moderate to heavy rain. We could pick up an inch to maybe even an inch and a half of rain across the state on Thursday. Then check this out. In the northern part of the state, possibly even some snowflakes falling on Friday morning as temperatures fall below freezing. Here in Center County, we're just anticipating some rain showers to start your day on Friday before those clear out Friday night. And skies clear out for your morning on Halloween, for your morning on Saturday. And check out how far these temperatures will fall on Halloween morning as you're waking up. Temperatures in the 20s across the state. So definitely a cool start to the weekend. Here's your 7-day forecast showing those much cooler conditions for your Halloween weekend with plenty of sunshine for both Saturday and Sunday. But do be aware of those periods of rain for your day on Thursday. Sarah has sports coming up next.
Thanks, Jacob. After a controversial loss at Indiana, Penn State football looks ahead to host Ohio State this weekend. That's next in sports. Also coming up, State College Area High School took on Altoona in the District 6 title game. We have the highlights from this close game. That's after the break.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Hi, I'm Peter, and there's nothing I love more than sharing vegetables with my friends. Come on in! Help yourself to anything. That's why we give our food the utmost respect it deserves. Did you know there are simple steps we can all take to help save food? You can cook it, store it, even share it. just don't waste it. Because when it comes to food, better ate than never. To learn more, visit SaveTheFood.com.
This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Remember that to love America is to love all Americans. Because love has no labels.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, excuse me, sit up straight, hold doors open for ladies. If the door's locked, knock first, don't burp, don't swear, don't stare, don't use bad language, or talk with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table.
What table?
Don't interrupt. Cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. On the bus, give your seat up to anybody who has trouble standing. Bottom line, treat others the way you want to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
Good talk.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
I'm Sarah Sutnick with sports. We have breaking news. Penn State running back Noah Cain is out for the season with an injury. Now, the State College Little Lions had a quick turnaround after Friday night's game. Coming off a tough playoff loss, State College was back in action when they took on conference opponent Harrisburg last night at Memorial Field in an extra game. Falling behind early to the Cougars, the Little Lions struggled to move the ball down the field, and the defense gave up 27 points in the first half. The Lions were unable to come back, and Harrisburg won 41-6. The Little Lions were coming off a quick turnaround from Friday night's District 6 championship game against Altoona. Reporter Matthew Knob was at Mansion Park Stadium for the game.
A bid to the state playoffs was on the line Friday in Altoona as State College took on the Mountain Lions. Leading 7-0 in the third quarter, State College quarterback Conrad Moore powered his way into the end zone to make it 13-0. The extra point was blocked. Altoona's offense came alive late in the third, getting on the board with a Marcus Day touchdown run. The extra point was good to make it 13-7. State College responded with a Dresden Green touchdown run just a few minutes later. The Little Lions then went for two and got it as Moore found Nehemiah Howell to make it 21-7. The Mountain Lions came storming back midway through the fourth as Day plunged into the end zone with just over 7 minutes to go to make it 21-14. With just over a minute remaining in the fourth, Day found his way back into the end zone to bring Altoona within one. The Mountain Lions then went for the lead as Kyle Pheasant bowled his way into the end zone to give Altoona the 22-21 lead. With State College driving in the final seconds, Altoona's Aaron Carruthers came up with the game-sealing interception. Altoona defeated State College to earn its first PIAA District 6 6A championship in over a decade. The Mountain Lions will now advance to the next round of the PIAA playoffs.
Those kids right there in those uniforms, they've put in the time and they've done everything that we've asked them to do.
State College head coach Matt Lintel credited his players' heart despite the agonizing loss.
I couldn't be more proud of our kids. I love
AJ Shields, number 47. CJ Seward, number 48.
Reporting in Altoona, I'm Matthew Knob for the Center County Report.
Altoona will play Williamsport this Friday in the next round of the playoffs. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. at Bald Eagle Area High School in Wingate. In other high school football news, Bald Eagle fell short in its District 6 playoff game against Bellwood Antis. Bald Eagle was the 8th seed taking on the top-seeded Blue Devils on Friday night. Blue Devils running back Zach Malone kicked off the scoring with a 15-yard touchdown run, but the Eagles answered right back with a 2-yard run from Garrett Burns. Bellwood Antis would score 14 unanswered points, but Bald Eagle scored a touchdown on the last play of the first half to close the gap, but still trailed 21-14 at halftime. The Eagles tied the game early in the third quarter with a 38-yard run, but the Blue Devils pulled away, scoring the game's final 2 touchdowns to win 35-21 and move on in the playoffs. While Bald Eagle head coach Jesse Nagel knows his team took a step back this year, he's optimistic about the future.
They're physical, there's no doubt, but, we're young. A lot of our turnovers were freshmen or sophomores or whatever, but, those things have been kind of haunting us all season,
Bald Eagles' quest for a district championship has come to an end, and Bellwood Antis will play Richland at home. Penn State football's home opener is this Saturday, but the Lions come into the game still in shock after a stunning overtime loss at Indiana. The Hoosiers hadn't beaten a top 10 team since Ronald Reagan was president in 1987, but they grabbed a controversial 2-point conversion to win the game 36-35 on Saturday. Now Penn State has to regroup to face number 3 Ohio State at Beaver Stadium.
Turnovers and penalties, which I would hope that you guys would agree that over the last 6 years, that's very uncharacteristic for us. So we got to get those things fixed.
Saturday's game against Ohio State kicks off just after 7:30 p.m. That's all for sports. Now back to you, Chanel, at the anchor desk.
Thanks for the update, Sarah. Coming up next, your mask. Do you ever match it to your outfit? See how one woman from our area is making masks, not just for health reasons.
Taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver, the strike zone, the net. You taught him how to hit the upper corner. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
During the pandemic, and part of our everyday outfits too. Some people are taking advantage of an opportunity to accessorize these new must-wear items. Addison Albert reports.
Why mask? All the fun you could have with your mask. People are starting to make fashion statements with these face coverings used during the pandemic. From red carpet events to game day gear, they want to look their best while staying safe.
They were selling like crazy, and then she's like, I think they're just coming to buy them to match their outfits. I was like, whatever, who cares?
She has made more than 3,000 masks and has distributed them at her workplace and in the community.
To have just something, maybe your favorite color or favorite thing, makes you feel good and want to be in this crazy time.
Patterns and fabrics aren't the only way people are making the most out of mask wearing. Accessories are also a new way to look your best.
This accessory right here is not only a fashion statement, but it can also alleviate some pressure from behind your ears whenever you hook it on like this.
Functional, but fashionable. That's the attitude many now have. If you have to wear a mask, might as well make it fun. In State College, I'm Addison Albert for the Center County Report.
Here is one of Jen's masks, and I think it fits my outfit perfectly today. What do you think, Chanel? I think it looks great. Huh?
I think it looks so good, Grace. That's all for today's newscast. You can find more of our stories on our website, centercountyreport.com. Our next newscast is on Friday, but you can follow us anytime for breaking news on Twitter. That's at Center County REP or on our Facebook page. We also have a Center County Report Instagram. Have a great day.